I'm here to make an impact to help people become more wealthy.
I'm Matt Bellman, and this is Million Dollar Creators, where you learn how to become a $1 million creator yourself.
For me, I like sustainability. I don't want to just go and then crash.
Have you ever thought how you could turn your deepest struggles into your greatest successes?
People are like, how do you even do that? I don't understand your numbers. What are you doing?
Well, meet Leah Notarianni, once a broke mom that has rewritten her entire narrative to become a multi-7-figure business owner.
The way that we market and target those people are very different.
Today, she helps people to heal from their past and get the life they dream of.
Our offers currently for mentorship, so not courses, but mentorship range from anywhere between 10 to 100K a year.
Welcome Leah Notarianni to the show. She's a speaker and business mentor who helps industry leaders transform their life and business from the inside out. Leah went from being a broke, single mom to a 7-figure business owner. She uses her experience to support high achievers to heal from their story, make a massive impact, and get into alignment with the life they actually want to live. Leah, welcome to the show. Take us with your passion to the next level.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
100%. Thank you. So let's start off with, what's your mission on this planet and what inflection point made you start your business?
So good. I love that. So my mission, I think my mission changes and evolves over time. I feel like I'm here to make an impact to help people become more wealthy, step into alignment, share their gifts, share their stories, and really impact other people's lives. Kind of the trigger point that started for me is I started my business the same year that my stepfather passed away of cancer. I moved countries as a single mom of 2, and I got a divorce. So it was really this pivotal moment in my life that said, hey, you only have one life. What are you going to do with it? What stories are you going to rewrite for yourself and for the future of your children? And what is it that you really want to do differently? So I really dug deep at that time, and I realized that I've been coaching people for free my whole life. I've been doing all of the things, but I never really monetized it. And it was in that series of events that really caused me to dig deep, but also take action forward in a really powerful way.
Awesome. Before we go ahead, in your previous life, what did you do before?
I was working in the wellness field forever. So when I was 16, I was selling gym memberships. And by the time I was 22, I was running a multimillion-dollar facility, and I was in sales and management. So I did that for a little while. And in between those careers, I was just doing all the different jobs. I did retail. I was always working with people, always in sales. So I really fell in love with the service and the sales. So it kind of, throughout all of my jobs, I really realized I was an entrepreneur because nothing really fit and clicked until I went out on my own.
Love it. That makes total sense. That sales skill give you likely a good foundation for today, which is a good segue to talk more about your offer today. So if I were a customer of yours, what's the offer and what's the value that I get?
Yeah, so I help high impact leaders, so experts that have already developed a level of expertise in their field, and I help them to create a signature one-on-one offer, their back end, and their live events. So we help with facilitation, content, curriculum, and basically their whole infrastructure on their build out. So taking somebody who's already a 6-figure earner and helping them scale to 7.
Okay, let me double click on that. So what's a typical customer? So let's say I'm a coach and I sell online and I want to take my business to the next level. And then you work one-on-one with this person in weekly one-on-one coaching calls to achieve that over the course of, I don't know, half a year?
Yeah, so we have a group. So everything that I do is in group. I do have some private clients. So our clients range from somebody who's kind of just starting, but really, really determined to get it off the ground, and all the way up to Olympic athletes and, Emmy award winning artists, kind of everyone kind of in between that space. And we work in a group. So I work with them on our first layer. We have our legacy program, and they're working with us for 6 months, and they have a couple calls a week. They do live events with us once a month. They're like fully immersed in the experience of what it takes, not only strategically, but emotionally and psychologically, to move through your own internal blocks that allow you to actually create the life that you want to live. Because it's not just the strategy, there's a lot that goes underneath that.
Got it. So let me debrief. It's a cohort-based model where a group of people are taken together, holding each other accountable, very likely over the course of 6 months, to go from A to B.
Yeah, so we do have coaching, and yes, our clients hold each other accountable, and we have an amazing community that's available. But we have a whole kind of ecosystem. We have our live events that they come to. They have mentorship calls with us that we're really working with them individually within a group setting, and they have a ton of a whole ecosystem of content and support that's available for them as well.
Clear. Live events means Zoom calls or means live in
No,
person?
live in person at our Laguna Beach office in California. So we do VIP days every single month. And the reason why we do that, because we know the impact of proximity, and we know the impact of getting out of your own environment and stepping into something really powerful. And we know the power of community. So we hand curate, we're speakers and facilitators, and that's also what we teach. So it's one of those things that we love. We get to really intimately work with our clients and really ensure their success.
Love it. Let's talk about price points. So is there like one offer, or is it like, take me through the value ladder? Like, where does it start? Where does
Yeah.
it end?
Yeah, so we have a sequencing of offers. So we have our legacy program, then we have our leverage and scale, and our transformational events. And our offers currently for mentorship, so not courses, but mentorship, range from anywhere between 10 to 100K a year.
Love it. These are solid price points.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. 10 to 100. And what's the funnel from awareness to me getting my credit card out and then buying the
Yeah.
ultimately? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, so our business is a little bit different because we do a lot of mentorship. So it's not like super high volume, it's actually very high curated. So a lot of the people that come to us have come to one of our live events, has seen us in our work organically and referrals. So we don't do any paid ads. So we scaled to a multi-million-dollar business with no paid ads. And it's been awesome. We are like layering in some different marketing, but what I would say to that too is the reason why we did that is because when you build a really, really good offer that actually gives the results that you promise, it actually becomes really easy for your clients to stay. The lifetime value of our client just continues to increase because they choose to stay. So back to your original question, sorry, I kind of went off on lifetime value, but marketing. So they come to our live events, the referrals, they see us organically. They're meeting us in different networks, but I would say that our organic network, our live events and our referrals are our main source of just generating. And then obviously our client renewals.
Nice. Okay. So you close them at the events with likely a desk at the back, and then you stack that offer. And in the end, they sign up and they rush to the back in order to secure a spot.
No.
No.
So we're kind of a unicorn. We don't do any pitching at our events, which is crazy. Because I think that if you actually give your highest value straight up front, and the level of client that we're working with doesn't need to be sold. Other levels of clients and things like that, definitely, I think the rushing to the back and all the stuff is really, really good. But for us, it's been just a journey of just creating really powerful impact and giving our best work away for free, and having people actually have a conscious choice and really tap in and say, is this the work that I want to go to? And are these the people that are going to bring me on that journey? So it's actually been more of a holistic process for us, and we've really enjoyed that.
Love it. Yes, very, very genuine and honest. These live events where people then make a decision if they want to commit, are these for free?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the events that we have, sometimes they're free, sometimes they're paid. We are getting into some paid. We do have paid retreats that people come on with us as well, and that's the actual offer, but they can also continue to work with us in our mentorship program. So they can come in that way as well, but sometimes they're free and sometimes they're paid. So a one-day event is a free, what we call a give what you get event, and the other events are paid if they're 2 days or 3 days or sometimes the one day, just kind of depending on what event
Okay.
they're attending and what it looks like.
Nice. Very clear. And what tools do you use to deliver your value? So, for example, I mean, if it's offline, it's a venue that makes sense. But let's say online,
Yeah.
this things that you do online, what tools do you use?
We have our online course platform, our community platforms, our email, our SMS, all the things that allow us to communicate, and of course, Zoom. I think when I look at first getting started, because I know a lot of your listeners are just getting started, I think sometimes we overcomplicate it, and you can build a really powerful ecosystem with one platform that really works well for you. And you're just figuring out how to communicate with your clients, have great community, but also have your content that they're able to go through. And I think people underestimate the power of virtual experiences and being able to really tap into Zooms and just being able to connect with your clients all around the world from the power of your own home or office. So I think it's just a really nice thing to also look at as well.
Clear. Now, take me on a timeline. When did you launch the business?
Yeah. So my daughter was 2 when I moved to LA from Canada, and she is now 9. So it's been 7 years. So my journey was a little bit figuring things out at first, looking at what I really loved, what did I not love, and kind of figuring out what are the pieces that really make sense for me. And my learning curve was steeper. I also started with kids, got married, have another daughter. We have a beautiful family. So it's just, yeah, it's been 7 years in its totality that I've started this business. But it's taken me on a different journey and I really love it and I appreciate it. And I think the highs and lows and the lessons and the learnings and the success and also the failures have taught me so much.
Amazing. It's a good segue to talk about success. So,
Yeah.
since you started until today, like let's say, 2023 this year, how many customers do you have?
Yeah. So we work with, oh my gosh, so over at least 1,000 clients that come to our events. But when we are offering our mentorship program, we're working with between 20 to 30 people a year. So it's really kind of an elite clientele that we're working with in our mentorship programs. And previous to this, in 2020, we had a wider variety of client at a lower price point. And that's kind of the thing that we're going to be layering in because there's a big piece for me just around impact. Like I started as a broke single mom of 2, just starting out, and I want to have the right resources at all the different levels that we can really support that person to climb the ladder as far as they want to go.
Okay, clear. So you bring 1,000 people to events per year, and out of that, 20 to 30 today will sign up. That's 2%, obviously, right? Yeah, 2 to 3%. And then will layer in also a layer where price point likely again is lower, but you can support more people. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I would say for the 1,000 people that come to our events, it's that they're different events. So if we do a firewalk, there's a ton of people coming, but our more curated events that are specific for people that are joining our legacy program are between 15 to 20 people. So it's smaller curated events. So it's not a ton. But we also layer in just events because we love to do events that are just larger events and they're not really funneling, they're not there to funnel into our mentorship programs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Firewalks. That reminds me of Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Um, okay. I think I get a better sense. Let me try to run the numbers. 10 to 100K, 20 to 30 clients, let's say 60 on average, times 25, 60K times 25, 1.5 million a year.
Yeah. So I think the numbers to also run is that that's just on our front end. So it's not including our back end and when they upgrade. So when we're working with people, their tendency to stay with us is between a year to 2 years. So we have clients that have been with us for going on 2 years, clients that continuously renew with us. So I don't think it's always about clients that are coming in the door, but clients that are staying and renewing and all of the things as well.
Yeah, makes sense. So the 10 to 100K is actually an annual price that you shared at the beginning.
No, so our entry level program is 25K. Everybody's coming in at 25K. We do have a 10K offer that we've offered in the past. We've recently sunset it, so we haven't brought it up, but we are going to be doing it in a different way with a different model. Before, we used to do it as a 4-month program for 10K, and we're not doing it in the same way as anymore. So our 25K offer is 6 months. Our back end offer of that is also 6 months. And then our transformational events is 12 months.
Okay. Got it. So that means actually every 6 months I pay 25K, and if you have good retention, you make with a customer 50K, likely even more
Yeah.
if they're on the higher priced programs. Okay, so likely it's even closer to 2 million, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. And you said you're doing this for 7 years. Maybe just like looking 1 year back, is the do you have like growth in the business? Is it stable? How is it compared to a year ago?
I would say that it's been pretty, like, it's kind of hovered. We haven't had any like hockey sticks growth over the last little while. I feel like the last year we've really been stabilizing a lot of systems so we can take that next level and can scale. So I feel like last year well, looking at it beyond my feelings, we just really anchored in a model that really, really worked for us. And this whole year, we've really dialed in that model. And now we're in a space that we have all the systems in place that we can now take that to the next level and scale it from there. So I would say that the last 2 years have been really consistent for us. It's like having $1 million+ year. It's awesome. Our clients are renewing. We're really dialing in the client fulfillment at that level, the processes, the systems, all of the things. So for me, I like sustainability. I don't want to just like go and then crash. So it's been really consistent. There's been a level of stability. Obviously, there's peaks in that when it comes to sales. But we've done no launches or anything like that. So when we layer those in, then we're going to get some really nice curves going up.
Got it. Very clear. Let's talk about lead gen. Of course, it's interesting to understand how do you get people to join these free events?
Yeah.
So, how do you do that without paid ads?
Yeah, I know. When I say our business model to some people, they're like, oh my God, so what do you do? So we share everything organically. I think that people that come is like that one person that comes, has an incredible experience, comes back and brings 5 more people. And it really just depends on what event it is. If it's a firewalk, those events are going to always be bigger. If it's more of a curated event for legacy, people have already invested 100+ K in other masterminds, events, coaching. So they already know what to expect. And when they have an experience like the way that they do with us, they typically will refer their friends to come to one of our events. So everything is organic. We did do paid ads for one event a couple months ago, and that was super fun. But we're going to have to go back and really dial in our client because it was a different experience for us and we wanted to try it, but it was cool. We liked it. But everything's organic. Everything is referral, social media, organic.
Yeah, let's talk about that then. That's awesome. It's really good. What's the audience size and what's your biggest channel? What channel did you start and what channel do you think has the biggest potential going forward?
Good questions. I think I have been less tactical with like plugging in the things. I've focused more on sales and client fulfillment. Marketing has been just one of those things that I chose to share, and it hasn't been like, oh, super dialed in from a strategic standpoint. I think we're in that space right now that we're going to be getting into that. What was the question that you said before that though? My
Like,
channel?
like how do you set social organic? Like, what does it mean? I mean, let's say you mainly use Instagram and you do a
Yeah.
post there and you say there's an event happening in Laguna Beach
Yeah.
next Friday. Sign up here on this link and that's it.
Yep.
Okay. And how is it possible that, let's say, how many people come to these? I mean, it's a firework. It's exciting, right? So it's like, oh, it's a firework. Let me tell my
Yeah.
friends about it. It's cool. It's happening
Yeah.
here. Let's do it. So maybe the appeal of that event attracts a lot of people. But like,
Mm.
what's the secret of I mean, how big is how big is your audience actually? Maybe let's start there.
My audience is really small. Like I think I have, I don't know, 1,200 people on Instagram and maybe 10 plus K on Facebook. I think I've just been around, and I think my network of people is like the power of my network speaks a lot more than just like my followers. So I think from that standpoint, my marketing hasn't been like this thing that I've aggressively just gone after and was like, oh my gosh, I got to like do this and do this and do this and do this. Although we're stepping into that now, it hasn't been the driving force. The driving force has historically for us has been lifetime value of our clients.
Clear. Okay, so that also means likely you have like US is the biggest country of your audience because you also do in-person events. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Biggest
we
channel
work with
then
a lot of
face.
people in the US.
Yeah, amazing. Biggest channel is Facebook. You started likely on Facebook as well
I
because that's
did.
older than Instagram. And one more thing is like, what do you mean by Facebook? Is it essentially a Facebook group that keeps growing and you promote to that group?
We did do that for a while, and then we kind of wanted to pivot our audience a little bit. Um, so it's just posting and sharing and networking and meeting people at masterminds. And I think the level of client that we're working with is a little bit different than the client that we would have. Like our top end client is very different than maybe the client that would come in on our front end. And the way that we market and target those people are very different. They're the people that are like running the masterminds, that are the public speaker, public figure. So the way that we market to them is not going to be the same as how we market to other people. And we're very aware of that. And we're tapped into the right networks and the right people and the right referrals and the right work. So we're just very visible in those arenas. So it's allowed us to really be successful in that space.
Clear. Um, let's talk quickly about business expenditures and then we move on. Like, is there anything that is actually, I mean, how big is the team? Is there any payroll?
Yeah, we just have an assistant. So we scaled to $1 million with just an assistant. We have some contractors. When I say we have a really slim business, like I really mean it. I think our systems and our client fulfillment is so dialed that it's carried a lot of the weight. I think looking back at all the things when I did have just hiring for this and hiring for that and hiring for the other things is like, I remember that time in my life and it was in 2020. And I remember that I started to hate my business and it pulled me so far away from the things that I really loved about it because I was putting people and processes and things in place that weren't really needed in order for me to grow to $1 million a year. So I wanted to kind of strip it all back, go lean, and really create a world-class program and have amazing people and community. And now we're layering it in and we're hiring different people and we have videographers and different contractors that we hire and stuff like that.
Very clear. So let's
Yeah.
talk about the future. Do you think you can get it up to 10x by yourself?
By myself? No.
So let's say 20 million, right? What is missing? And also, what's the strategy to win big?
I love that. That's a really good question. I think for me, it's definitely going to be team. It's going to be paid ads. It's going to be more systems and processes and more of a focus on marketing. I think what we've done has been amazing, and the fact that we've done that with such minimal marketing, like people are like, "How do you even do that? Like, I don't understand your numbers. Like, what are you doing?" And then people get inside of our programs and they're like, "Oh, I get it. Like, you guys really, really, really deliver in such a way that is so different." And I think that's been kind of our unicorn in the industry. But to grow to 20 million, we definitely need teams. We need experts that we're hiring. We're not hiring, people that are just getting started. We're hiring like experts in their field, and we're very specific and strategic on that. Strategic partnerships, different offer suite that is having direct funnels coming in for lower ticket, and really building it out in a different way, and also more brand awareness and
Clear.
recognition.
So move over to a section I call the famous five. You can answer in one word, completely okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite business book?
Oh my gosh. What's my favorite business book? Oh my gosh. I think
Favorite book that helped you to build your business? If there's none, that's fine.
you know what? I'm going to answer it this way. I don't think a book has really done it for me. I think being in the room at an event has been the thing that has changed my life consistently over and over and over again. And mentors and coaches. I think that without that, I would not be the person that I am today.
Favorite person you're studying, your role model?
My future self.
Favorite social media channel for inspiration?
I follow a lot of different people on Instagram. I think just seeing a variety of really powerful people standing in their work and using their voice is just really inspiring for me. So it's never just one thing. I feel like it's a curation of a lot of things.
Favorite online tool for building your company?
I've used a lot of different ones in the past, so I'm in the process of building a new one. I know you guys are Passion.io, and you guys use a really amazing platform. So I think having any platform that really speaks to you, that has community, is a really good idea.
Okay. We can also go with Zoom, because you mentioned that in the beginning.
Zoom is awesome. I think without Zoom Zoom. Zoom has changed my world.
Biggest thing on your mind?
Biggest what on my mind?
Biggest thing on your mind right now?
The biggest thing that's been on my mind is what I'm really going to dedicate myself to in 2024.
Makes total sense. Moving on to a section called personal. How many hours do you sleep per night?
At least 8.
What's the situation? Married, single, any kids?
Married, 3 girls.
Awesome. Congratulations. Yeah. What's your age?
36.
Awesome. Final question. We also want to give some advice to the audience. If you could go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Learn. Take the time to really learn and grow your skill set, but also your psychology. So then when you have the opportunity to really execute, you have both the mindset that's in place, but also the right skill set in order to execute. I think looking back, I wish, I'm really grateful that I really did take that time to learn, but there's also pieces that I wish I would have married with mindset more.
Thank you. That's Leah Notarianni. She's a speaker and business mentor who helps people to become wealthier. She creates, she has offers where people go actually in live workshops in Laguna Beach to then sign up for a 6-month, a 12-month program that help them to become more impactful and wealthier. Lots of things are in person, but also through Zoom. She also does firewalks for free, which excites people. And the business is going very, very well. No paid ads, very, very little. She shares content organically to a really small audience, 1.2K on Instagram, 10K, 12K on Facebook, and hit 7 figures with that. So biggest channel is Facebook. Payroll and operating expenditure is really low. It's a very, very good business. And now with more focus on building out a team of experts, focus more on marketing and starting paid ads, she wants to build and bring the business to the next level. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your passion and taking us to the next level.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. That was Leah Notarianni. You learned how to create a multi-million-dollar business with a tiny audience and no paid ads. So how can you unlock the next level of your business?